Excited that you're here today, but also want to get into kind of the weeds of the podcast. How did this journey for you start, Randy?
All right, so the long and short of it was when I moved here in 2014, I was a huge podcast listener. I've been creating podcasts since 2009. When I moved here, one of the first things I said was, there's no podcast about Northwest Arkansas. How do I learn about the place that I now call home?
Sure.
And for several years when I first moved here, I worked at a company, and a gentleman named Mark Zweig convinced me to move to Northwest Arkansas. And so I worked with him, and I spent more time at the airport than I did at home.
Sure.
And so I knew more people at XNA than I did even in my own hometown. So when I left that company in 2019, I said, you know what? I'm going to start that podcast that I would have wanted to listen to back in the day. And lo and behold, 3.5 years later, 203 episodes as of today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, we just, the hits keep coming. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And for people who have not had a chance to listen to the podcast, you are interviewing everybody across Northwest Arkansas, change makers, people who are really making waves in Northwest Arkansas. What are some things you've learned along the way as you've been doing your podcast, Randy?
Man. You know, I'll be honest with you, the biggest thing, and I say this all the time, that I've learned about Northwest Arkansas in doing this podcast is simply that this is one of the most giving places that I've lived in. And I've lived all over the world. I've lived all over the country. Northwest Arkansas has a special spirit about it, and I don't ever want us to lose it. Even as we grow and as we increase in numbers, I want us to hold on to that, because that feeling is very special, and it's something that has remained with me. You go to a lot of cities, and you know they look at you at arm's length. Here in Northwest Arkansas, people pull you in and hug you, and there is a difference.
Yeah.
And so I think some of that is that Southern living. Some of that is
the
fact that we're in the heartland. But you know, it really is. I mean, it really is. It's something that I've experienced in doing the podcast, and every person that I've connected with, I've been able to build a relationship with.
Yeah, you've interviewed a lot of people here in Northwest Arkansas. Is there anyone left on the list? It's like this would be my dream podcast episode. Who would those people be, Randy?
So I'm hoping they're listening.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Well, of course they are.
I'm hoping they're listening. But these are the people that I really would love to have on the podcast. And this is no shade to anybody that's already been. I've had multiple people on the podcast more than once.
Okay.
So, but I would love to have Alice Walton.
Yes.
Somebody that, you know, I mean, just studying her dad once I moved here. I had read Sam Walton's biography before. I read it again. Nolan Richardson.
Okay.
You got to have Nolan Richardson
yes.
on the podcast. Bill Clinton. He lived here for a while.
Okay.
They still have a house here.
That's true.
Jerry Jones.
Okay. He does come to NWA
I know.
for Razorback games.
I'm just putting it out there in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Al Bell, one of the record executives from Stax
yes,
Records.
who also makes frequent visits to Northwest Arkansas.
Right. So
okay.
I'm just putting it out there that I would love to have some of these individuals on the podcast.
Okay, putting that out there into the atmosphere. People at home, if you're watching, if you have a connection, please reach out to Randy. We've got some information that we'll put up on the screen right now on how you can follow the I Am Northwest Arkansas podcast. Randy, how often do you do your episodes?
It comes out every Monday, rain or shine.
Every Monday. Okay,
Yes.
so even today.
Today, we got a brand new episode for Dot's Nashville Hot Chicken, which if you haven't had it, it's legit. And they have a food truck that's based right on North College, just below Lafayette. It's there at the Norfolk Yacht Club there, and the hot chicken is amazing. And what's really cool is that this guy does everything from locally sustainable sources.
Okay.
And so
if
you want to support a place, a food truck that's about the environment as much as they're about the food, Dot's Nashville Hot Chicken is for you.